Hi, welcome back to my channel, Open the Door. This is episode 151, Watering Trees. So in one of my recent episodes that I made about the new earth, I talked about how I like to sprinkle my spirituality on those around me when the situation is appropriate, and how I think of that, especially with younger people, and that's anybody younger than me. I think of that as watering trees. So today I want to talk about some more about what I mean by that and how you too can water trees and seeds for the future that we will not even be here for. So as I get older, time passes more quickly, and there's something that's shifted in my view through my healing journey that has to do with my purpose. I don't feel the need to build monuments and chase recognition. Instead, I see my work as, like I said, watering young trees, knowing full well I may never sit in their shade. For all of us during our lives, we focus on surviving and learning and healing and building things for ourselves. But for me, as I said, my focus has shifted, and I started asking different questions. Not what can I accomplish, but what can I pass on? For me, the answer has become increasingly clear. A big focus of my work moving forward will now be about guiding the next generations, not trying to control them or telling them how to live their lives, but helping them unlock truths that are already held within them. So there's a role of elders in our society. Yes, I'm referring to myself as an elder because I'm in these, technically, that's still hard to say, but I am in the senior community. And in many ancient cultures, elders are considered the keepers of wisdom. Their job isn't to dominate the young, it's to help guide them, to help them see farther down the path. But in our modern world, that connection seems to have been lost for many young people. Many young people today are growing without guidance, without emotional tools, and without, in some cases, without elders who are willing to patiently stand beside them as they learn and grow. And that's one of the reasons that I feel so strongly about speaking up now, because if we don't help guide the youth, someone else will. And not all voices in the world have the best interest at heart for our young population. So I see the role of an elder, that it's not to shape the young into our image, but to help them remember who they already are. So here's some ways that I see that we could water these young trees. It might mean listening without judgment, teaching emotional awareness and regularity, encouraging curiosity, helping them trust their intuition, showing them that healing is possible, modeling accountability and integrity, and helping them to reconnect to nature and, in the process, to themselves. I do see young people like trees that are just beginning to grow. And some of them are growing in rich soil, and others are growing in very hard ground. Some have support, and others are trying to just get through the storms of life. And sometimes all they need is someone willing to water them. Everything that I went through in my healing journey, all the pain, all the lessons, it wasn't just for me. Some of it was so that I could help to water this next generation. So we need to begin to not only help them to heal themselves, but to reconnect to the earth. Because the young people of today are inheriting a wounded world and a wounded earth. And there's a great need for all of us to reconnect with nature. It will teach us stillness, teach us how to listen, teach us more clarity and to have more awareness. Returning to the older ways of living with the earth doesn't just mean that we're providing our younger generations with information, but to help them, as I said, to reconnect to the earth, to themselves, and to their inner compass. Part of my vision for the future with this empire that I'm building, based on my channel and the book I read, I plan on doing workshops and retreats, and I will at one point obtain property where I can have a outbuilding where I can hold retreats and workshops. And I would like this to be on acres and acres of woodland so that I can integrate this healing workshops combined with not just people and their needs, but connecting them to nature as well. So one part of watering the trees, or think of it as actually planting a tree, this metaphor, is that when we plant a tree, we don't just stand over it and demand that it grow faster. There is an element of letting go and trusting. So we have to trust the future that, we've done our part. We may need to come back and water it. But for the most part, we've planted the seed in the ground. We come back and water it, and then let the nature take its course. So we have to accept that we can't control the outcomes, but we can believe that the seeds will grow in their own way in what is needed for them. Here's some reflection prompts for you to put in your journal or just to think about regarding this whole aspect of watering trees. What does watering young trees mean to you personally? How do I define legacy beyond material things? Do I expect acknowledgement when I give or guide? Why or why not? And the last question is, what wounds from my past give me wisdom that I can now offer to others? In closing, I have a little bit of a lengthy statement to make here. So at nearly 66 years old, yes, that's right, I'm not worried about being remembered. I'm more interested in what continues after me. If something I say today helps a young person heal, or to question something within themselves, or to reconnect within their soul, then that tree is already growing. A world where people live with more awareness, more compassion, and more connection to the earth and to each other is how I see the new earth, this concept I've been talking about in the last few episodes. And you'll hear me mention it probably in every episode moving forward. But the truth is, without awareness and compassion and connection, our youth are going to be left struggling, trying to figure out how to rebuild the world that we're leaving them with. Our role isn't to build it for them. It's to help prepare them to build it wisely. Maybe someday, long after I'm gone, someone will sit in the shade of the trees that I am helping to water. Pick up a watering can and join me. That's it for today. I've got another episode ready to record here in just a couple of minutes. I hope you guys have been doing well. Spring's officially here, although it's chilly out today. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and life is springing forth all around us. Have a great day, and I'll see you again very soon. I wish you peace, love, and light. And that's it for now. I'll talk to you later.